welcome to DrollGamingFaction. We have another tutorial for you here, Nexus Wars. Now, I have to say from the beginning, we are not pros, but we do play this every once in a while, just kind of downtime. It's a lot slower paced than the actual game of Starcraft itself, so this is kind of like our relaxer that we have fun doing. I am Keen Assassin. I have Granter with me. Say what's up, man.
Hello, everyone.
So yeah, as soon as this thing loads, we'll kind of show you guys what's going on. This game is again slower paced, but it's more about unit comp, how to counter units. There are little trades and secrets which we'll go over as soon as we start. Here we go, actually. So let's take the top. All right, dude.
All right, yeah.
So again, load. All right, there we go. I guess we're gonna go bottom. Is that you or? No, fuck it, dude. I'll go top. You go bottom.
Oh wait, he's going up. He's going up.
Okay, good.
Okay, never mind. No, he isn't.
Oh god.
He doesn't want to.
All right, well that's something that you have to deal with. Again, being fast at the beginning of this game doesn't really matter. Unfortunately, if they were in game with us, then we'd be able to communicate better with them, but they're not. So sometimes you get that where like you don't know who's going where, and you know the polite guy ends up being last, figuring out where he's going, which is me this time, I suppose. So. Yeah, so what you do here is you have 3 races. You can pick either, Terran, Zerg, or Toss. And in order to build bigger units, you have to build small units. I went Marines this time, or Terran this time. So, and I didn't build a second Marine factory because I wanted to save up for a Reaper. The reason why is because Reapers are detectors, and if they do anything, with invisibility or cloaking, I'll see them with that. Not to mention Reapers are a little more aggressive even though they're weaker. So it looks like we're going to get all the way across. I don't know if they're building anything.
What are they building?
What are they doing? Oh, they're probably going all down. Oh, never mind. Okay. I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, they actually might have had like the same problem you were trying to figure out who's
yeah, exactly. But we made it all the way across the map. That's kind of rare. But anyway, so some stuff to talk about. So yeah, you send units across the map. They in turn respond with units, and the objective is to kill the other team's Nexus right here. This building right here, the Nexus. So hence Nexus Wars. It is like a tug of war game, so one person or one team will be stronger than the other. You got to hold them off, and then you go back, and then they go back, and that's kind of what it's about. If a team does get too far into your base, you can use this right here, which is a nuke. You can see right here it'll actually nuke stuff. Let's go ahead and escape out of that. Don't want to waste that. Make sure you communicate before you use those too, because people will sometimes just oh my god, we're gonna die, and then use it, and then 2 people use it at once, and then that's a really, really wasteful thing to do in this game because those are really useful. Right here we have, it's not available yet, but it's upgrades and heroes. That's so that you can upgrade, obviously, all of your units, and then heroes are for late game. After you have a lot of money, you can build large heroes, which I'll show hopefully before this game is over. And then also to defend your base, if they get too close, you could buy these, which are 150 minerals, photon cannons. Those kind of help you defend your base. Like we might, nah, I don't think we'll have to. I think we'll be all right.
They're really good for early game, but once you get to a certain point, they don't even matter.
Right. But early game, they're almost 100% necessary.
Well, they don't give you anything back, so.
Right. But yeah, that's another thing to point out is the salvaging. You don't want to salvage buildings early game because you will not get anything for them. The only reason to salvage a building is late game is to make, because you only get so much room to build, and you only get so much supply here. And if you have buildings you don't want, you can get rid of them salvaging them. But again, don't do it unless you got enough money to build other stuff immediately. Alright, so it looks like we're taking the lead over here now. So, cars, Marines, and Zealots, it looks like that's what their comp is right now. And the medevac, obviously.
Yeah, so actually that medevac can tell you something, that they're probably going to start doing air units.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what you need to go into the air units.
That's very true. So, yeah, you just got to be aware of stuff like that. So, what I'm going to do is probably do a car now, which is what he needed, so he's jumping straight into air. Yeah, likely what's happening. Again, trying to get into a base early on is really hard. All you got to do is build a photon cannon. They can hold you off. Something to point out, which we haven't had to do yet. Oh, if you something real quick. If you double-click 1, that'll bring you straight to your SCV worker or other workers. And if you guys want a cool worker like his right here, the Brack, what you do is you play this a bunch, and it records your wins. So if you win a whole bunch, then you get in the game, you press Enter, dash builder, and then it'll pop up this list right here, and then you can actually pick which one you want. But you see here however many wins you need to get each one. So obviously, like I said, we're not pros at this. We just do it for fun. So unfortunately, all I have available to me is an SCV. Kind of sucks, but whatever. Yeah, so I'm not sure what they're doing here, but they built a cannon, so we're not going to get in, and they're attacking us now. So early game's kind of just the way it is. So here's what I'm gonna do. He's going air, so I'll actually just do an air support unit to be ready to fight air with air, because we're already in their base, so I can afford to kind of.
It actually looks like your teammate's starting to do hydras.
Yes, he is.
He keeps going with them though.
Yeah.
Hydra's not gonna hold him off.
Right. But hydras are great for both air and ground, so we'll see what their comp turns into. But it looks to me like he's just doing a whole bunch of reams, dude. It doesn't look to me like he actually has a real solid plan. So he might not be that great of a player. But then again, who knows? Alright, something else you could do if they get too close. Okay, well, let's break this down. If you look down here in the mini-map, you have 2 tiers available to you. This tier and this tier. Alright, so come down here, you're on the second tier. And if you come down here, this is the middle of the map. If you can actually, what you could do is press Command A and attack, and then it'll attack any enemy units. Or you can actually Command R and repair. But I don't have anything to repair. So, but that way you can try to keep your units alive, or you can try to kill the other team's units. Something to point out though is that this third tier down here, to go to the middle of the map, you can't go down there, because if you do, this happens. Bloop, you disappear, and then what happens is it brings you back to the Nexus. So that's you can't fight in the middle of the map. You can't go across. So it looks like we're not gonna need that for a little bit. We're still up in their second tier. So let's go ahead and build. I'm going to build a heavy unit now, so let's go ahead and start that. Now, something else to break down for you guys is a lot of people build different ways. There's people who build horizontally, vertically. They build against the back wall back here. Some people actually build down on this lower tier here, which I don't recommend doing. You're more vulnerable down there. This right here is easier to defend. So, but if you do build horizontally like we're doing right now, you really need to focus on making sure you have you need to make sure you have a big gap here. You need to make sure that you have space to let your units out. Like for me, if I'm going Thor, which is why I held off on the vampire, which we're going to talk about in a second, is Thors take up a lot of space, so they need a lot of room to get out. If you don't leave a lot of room, they'll bunch up. So now I'm going to go build my vampire. So what a vampire is, vampire is an income pylon, which you need to build in order to get more income. So the reason why I held off is because I wanted to get one heavy unit before I started actually with the vampire. I wanted to get a heavy unit out to try to get another edge. So you got to upgrade these, so whenever you get the money for it, and you can see the income increase right there. You need to keep upgrading those to keep getting your units. And the last thing I kind of want to talk about is the upgrades and heroes. You need to make sure you post down one of those. If you post down 2 of those, you could do 2 upgrades at once, and that's more of a later game thing. Also, in there you can get your heroes. All right, so how you guys doing down there, Gunter?
We're getting pushed off just a little bit, but it won't go anywhere.
Yeah, we're pushing back already. I'm gonna let this guy know. So now I'm going to drop down another one. It seems to be a good unit comp that we're doing right now. Lurkers are really effective. It looks like we might be able to kill that. Yep, there we go. All right, so that was the nuke I was talking to you guys about before. If people get into your base too far, which is why I went heavy unit, because they went a lot of ground units mixed with the lurkers that he's building and the hydralisk. It was a really good unit comp. So it's just really powerful because they'll be going after the small units first, and the Thor, which has a lot of power, will be doing powering through. So that's kind of why I did that. So we got in their base, so they nuked us. You only get 1 nuke a game, and there are 4 players on each team, so that's 4 nukes. I can nuke top or bottom on my side, and so can everybody else. So again, you don't want to waste them, but you have to use them to make sure you don't lose any buildings. If you lose buildings, you lose units. You lose units, you're probably gonna lose. So, all right, it's time for me to build another one. What unit comp they got now? Tanks? Yeah.
They're going heavy tanks against you.
Yeah, they are.
Still don't have detection.
Yeah.
Those lurkers. It's killing them.
They are. I don't think they understand.
Oh,
well, no, they do. Yeah, they got the sentry.
Only got 1 though.
Yeah, which they might want to get a couple, because yeah, the lurkers can do damage. All right, so now what I'm going to do is we'll kind of wait to see what their unit comp turns into. Thor is going to be pretty effective against the tanks here. If it was Immortals, I probably would switch up and go to an air unit. I might actually end up switching up to an air unit here just to see what happens. Again, so this is a tug of war, so you see what they build, you build something to counter it. Alright, so now he's got heavy swarm hosts going. And something else to point out now is syncing your units. So if you want to, you can double click all of your buildings, and like to make them all go at once so that they don't die individually, just press escape, and then after double clicking your buildings, and then you can see in a second they'll just all start at the exact same time. So that this time when all my units pop, they'll all pop at the exact same time. So we're getting pushed on right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and
our bottom just killed a upgraded cannon.
Nice. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and damn it. Build. Alright, so the opposite team has used 2 nukes now. Oh, and then something makes you want to do is repair. Make sure you keep trying to repair. And if your other teams come help repair, yeah, so we lost that. So what I might do right now is nuke. I'm thinking I'm going to nuke real quick. Oh, see? He didn't tell me, so we wasted 2. That's what I was talking about. That's exactly what we were talking about a second ago. If you don't communicate, which I tried to, but he didn't, so I'm going to say that one was not my fault. So I'm going to counter some of his tanks with tanks real quick, because they're cheap and they're effective. Yeah. So I'm going to lose a building. Yeah, this is not looking good at all for us, is it? Hey, Grunter, can you nuke the top?
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I almost lost a building, but I didn't lose a building yet. So, and now I'm gonna pop some stuff that should be able to fight this back. All right, there we go. So we'll see what happens right now. Again, this is a game of tug of war, so you go back and forth, and you kind of just do what you can to fight everything you can. So it looks like we'll be able to push this back. So we finally made our pushback, which is great news. It took 2 nukes in the beginning and then 2 other nukes, so I don't think any of us have any nukes. But the other team used up a lot of their nukes too prior in the game, so this should be a good, nice little. I'm kind of glad that happened to really show you guys how it can happen. See, it looked like we were going to lose, right? But now, this is the tug of the war thing we're talking about. Now we're building so many units so fast that we should be able to push back and possibly win this one. So we'll see what happens. Something else you need to make sure you don't forget about is your upgrades. So I'm going to go ahead and get that going. Alright, so here's the upgrades. I'm going to do my Terran upgrades, which I'm doing a lot of ground, so I'm going to do that right there. And do another one right there. So, okay. Yeah, so now you can see that we're really making a good pushback now. We're really getting back in it. Somehow Grenter your units up at ours. Did you do that intentionally? Yeah, you did.
Yep.
That's something else you could do is if you notice that your teammate's having a hard time or for whatever reason you need to help them out, you can actually build up top and that your units will actually go over there and help. But now it looks like you know, well, you guys will hold that off, yeah, down below. But now we got a big unit comp going across the top, so it looks like we're probably going to be able to push through on this one. Now I'm going to get a couple more Thor. And then after this one I'm going to hold off and I'm going to upgrade my vampire next and focus on upgrades, because now I have a good unit comp. So now what you need to figure out is how to make sure your units stay more powerful. And there's something else you could do is just kind of see if you're on level, on par with the other team. This kind of sucks if this guy lags out. But what you can do is actually you could click on it, the other team's units, and you could see how upgraded they are. So you could see what you're fighting against and if you need to upgrade. Well, this kind of sucks.
Yeah, it stinks.
Boo.
Side is he on? He's on your side.
Yeah.
Well, if there's any time that you're gonna lag out, now would be the time.
Yeah, and that's something else too. To make sure if you play this game, you have a good internet connection, because believe it or not, this is a lot of units. It's a lot of, you know, internet signal. You know, so it takes a lot to actually stay really in the game. I mean, before I had my new computer, I used to do this too. I used to lag hard when I played this game.
Oh god, that was so annoying.
Yeah, so alright, so we lost a guy, so he's not going to be able to unit comps. If you do get dropped, this is something else to talk about. It's kind of cool. If you do get dropped like that, you actually get the minerals that he would have got are split between the remaining people, so it's a really cool...
Yeah, and the reason I said that if you're going to lag out, now would be the time, is because in the beginning, you don't give your teammates any minerals, because you didn't have anything.
Right.
They can control your worker if you lag out, but they're not going to be able to build your pylon until much, much later. So they're not going to be able to utilize those minerals.
Right. Now, just to quickly note, the upgrades and heroes here, see how it takes a while for these to work? So the best part about having 2 of them is that you could do 2 at once. So see how they're both running? That's really effective. In a second here, where it looks like we're going to win up top. We're absolutely destroying. This is what I'm talking about. It looked like we were going to lose, right? No, we are... winning. We'll, even with that, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to still push through. We have a steady stream of stuff coming at them, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna get in it. But yeah, so they nuked us up top. I still think we'll be charging through there. And so since we're ahead of the game here, oh yeah, so now we got carriers up top, man. So I'm gonna switch over my focus here real quick to some air units. Again, you gotta just counter their units, and since the carriers will be really effective against my ground units and Thors and stuff, so I'm gonna go ahead and bust out a whole bunch of Vikings and just tear those things apart. But it looks like we'll be getting it anyways, so GG. Yeah, so this is a pretty good game, pretty good tutorial. What I wanted to do is real quick show you guys what these are the heroes: the Odin, the Kerrigan, Zeratul, and Archangel. My favorite is probably the Archangel because you can actually jump up and fly across the map with him. So that's really cool. If I think I'll get the money in a second actually, and I'll go ahead and show you guys what that looks like. And I think I could have done a better job at playing this, but I was really trying to teach you guys and show you guys a whole bunch of stuff at the same time. So unfortunately, I don't think I did as great a job as I could have. But I think we'll do a good job anyways. So here's what I was talking about, and it takes a second to build your hero, and then you click on your hero, and then they have a couple skills here: fire missile, which is really cool, and repel, which is also really cool. It's like a blast. What the best part about him is that he can fly. Now, if you get the Odin, he actually has a nuke, and every hero has their own little special capabilities. That's why I like the Archangels, because I can actually fly over and trying to kill. So, and like I said, they went a lot of air, so my air units are going to be really effective against this. My Vikings are doing their work right now. So, GG everybody. Looks like this is.
Yeah, that's over.
Yeah, this looks over. Again, just to reiterate, we are not pros, but we do this for fun. I thought it'd be cool to show you guys how it works. So I hope everybody enjoyed it. Keen Assassin here. Granter?
Oh yeah. See y'all.
All right. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right. Check you later, guys.